This chair's kind of hot. Ow. Welcome to North Carolina. We're going to have a little porch talk about traveling in your 20s. I know a lot of you are curious since you clicked on the video. How do you travel in your 20s? How do you have these real life experiences when you're only so young and you only have so much in the bank? I'm going to tell you all of my secrets. I've been across the United States, only have 9 states left, traveled to all of them. I've been to Korea and Japan recently, been to Mexico, Aruba, some other countries, Canada even. I'm about to tell you how I travel so often and frequently and what I do, and based on your situation, what you could possibly do. Everyone's situation is different, okay? And it also depends on how much you want to travel, how often you can travel, and what are you willing to give up to travel. Let me explain. In terms of what do you want to do to travel, I'm asking in terms of like what is your purpose behind traveling? Like what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to get out of it, okay? Do you want to just hit all 50 states? Do you want to just travel to another state? Do you want to travel countries? Like, what is the ultimate goal here, I think, is the narrowing down part, right? Once you have that, for me, that answer was traveling the world, right? Not only the 50 states, but the entire world. So I was like, okay, well, how often do I want to do it? My answer is as often as possible. For some, it could be like, well, I can only afford to do it on these, like in these times because I have work and other obligations or school or whatever, which is totally fine. For me, I want to travel as often as possible. What I did was when I was young, I started working at the age of like 14, 15, and I really did not stop working until like, well, I mean, I've always been working until like now. Right now I'm unemployed and I'm at my parents' house. So there's that for you guys. This could happen to you too. Just letting you know. What you can do is work and save up a bunch of money. That can allow you to travel wherever you want to travel to, even for a little bit, even for like 11 days or 17 days or however many days you want. Save up that money and then just go and do. And then come back, work a little more, and go back and travel. That's if you really, really want to do it and you're like dying to do it. Work and save, honestly, is what my best advice is. When I say how much are you willing to give up to travel, I mean it in terms of there are jobs out there that provide you with food and housing to work. In the States, it's a little different. I typically go for summer camps, and again, that's only for about 2 months. It depends on how much you want to let go of your housing situation, or it could be your car for 2 months, or, whatever, and eat their food, right? So you don't really have control over what you're eating, or, so, and then the housing could be quite terrible. There was a job that I did out in California, and it was an outdoor education. They gave us food during the weekdays. They gave us a place to stay, and they also paid you to work. It was great. I got to go out, live in California. I got to try that out, and I ate food, right? Saved some leftovers for the weekend. Like, that's just how I kind of did it, right? I was really, really, really cheap, and I would only spend money on gas money going to, like, Yosemite or Pinnacles or, places like that. But ultimately, while I was working those jobs, I was kind of just staying, exploring around the area, and saving up that money. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Now, these housing situations could be actually awful. I lived in an 80s style double wide trailer. And if you guys have seen my movie on my channel, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about because I show it what I lived in for 9 months. And it actually got excavated. So like you can't live in there anymore. Like it literally got knocked down because it was such a horrible living space. The insulation was falling out of the bottom of it. There was mice. There was bats in the wall. It was bad. Okay. It was bad, but it was a place to sleep mainly, right? You're just staying and to put your stuff too. That's also an important part. Now, granted, your stuff wasn't locked up, right? So anyone could honestly walk on the property and go into that and steal it, hypothetically. You kind of have to also leverage that as well. You have to see if you really want to give that up too. It all depends on how bad you want to travel and what you're willing to do to get it. I was willing to go live in the worst housing situation I've lived in, to go travel to the other side of the country, experience it, live in it, be in it, immerse myself in it. And I did. And it was amazing. And I love it. So it's always like a check and balance, right? Like how bad do you want it and how much are you willing to put forth and do the work to get it? Again, I also do summer camps mostly because of like, it's only a 2-month span. So you're only in that living situation for 2 months. So if you hate it, you're not like stuck with it for like, 9 months. So there's that option too. So there's options where you can work and have food and housing covered. All you have to really do for that is Google jobs with housing and a whole bunch of stuff on Google will pop up. Just start sending in applications. It could be literally anywhere. I had an interview last week with someone in Utah, and it was helping teens with therapy and nature therapy and things like that. The only issue is that they didn't have permanent housing. So that kind of was like a deal breaker for me, right? Because I'm in North Carolina, all my stuff is here. Like I'm not going to move to be like a full-time position that doesn't pay me that much to go live out in Utah. Like, you know what I mean? So it's all like what you kind of want, essentially. Now, what you can also do, which is what I'm probably going to end up doing soon to try it this way. I'm like trying to travel in many different ways to see like what I like, right? So I did that, the whole camp job, the whole, moving, jobs with free housing, things like that. I did that for about maybe a year and a half, if we're calling it right. So I did that for a year and a half. And then I was like, I kind of just want my own place. I kind of want, to have a lock on the door with my own stuff. Cause I have a bunch of camera equipment, it's not cheap. So, I got a place in Philly with me and my ex, and we lived there for a year. I got a job traveling. So I'm a videographer, filmmaker, obviously. I just happened to apply on LinkedIn, Indeed, I forget which one it was, for a travel videographer. And for 6 months, they sent me out with a bunch of gear, and I would just video dancers, and I'd get paid that way. But I would be traveling to other different cities, right? Chicago, New York, Jersey, I don't even know where else I went, Michigan, a whole bunch of places. That was great because they put me up in a hotel, they paid for my food when needed, everything was good, everything was covered, right? And I still had that home base to go to on the days where I wasn't working. I just went back to Philly. That also is a great way to travel, is do something job-wise, figure out a career or something job-wise that you can do, and you can travel with it. I wish my job was full-time and not seasonal. However, it's seasonal. So there's always that. Finding jobs that can supply you with traveling. That could be Amazon delivery packages. That could be, whatever. Just find a job that allows you to travel You may not have time to sightsee. Like when I was traveling for a videographer for dance, I didn't really have much time to sightsee. I would have like maybe a half a day, if that. And I would go and travel around local, wherever they put me. So again, it depends on how much are you willing to split and do and work with. How much time do you want to be working? How much time do you want to be traveling, exploring, like on your own, by yourself, not under someone? It depends, on what you kind of want and how you want to create that for yourself. Going back to what I said, what I was going to do now is you could have a home base, right? Which for right now, it's North Carolina for me. And you can go and take your car, which I just bought, working on the insurance, and build it out, and you can go live on the road for however much. It's just gas money and food. And then like you just need to look up places to sleep, which most of the time Walmarts are perfectly fine. And you could travel far with that. You can travel close. It depends on, again, what you want to do, what you want from it, where you're going to go, so it's all kind of what you want to do. Any job I get, I always put money aside into savings and or invest it, because that right there, your money is working for you. I think it's smart to invest and also put it away in savings. So that way, when a trip does come up or, your car breaks down or something, you have that money set aside so you can go on that trip or deal with the financial issue and not have to worry about financials. Yeah, so right now I'm working on the car thing. I'm going to see how traveling like that is going to go. I can break up different routes and road trips I could do. So again, I have 9 states to accomplish. So I can do one big road trip, or I could break it up into small road trips and just do it that way and get those states done that way. Because I might have a job, I might land a job, I might be a little tired of the road. It depends, So that way you kind of have more of a control on how much you get to go back to your home base or not. So that's how I travel in my 20s. And I'm so cheap that it's disgusting. Like, I don't really go out with friends because I don't want to have to pay for food and stuff. Like, that's kind of dumb. Like, why can't we just make it at home for a lot cheaper? I will not buy anything that I don't need. More clothes or, I don't know, more camera stuff when my stuff works just fine. It kind of all depends how much you're willing to give for the travel, right? All this stuff, things, buying things, consumerism, are you willing to give that up so you can travel? You know what I mean? It's just like a give and take process here. That's kind of how I do it. I'm just cheap, and I do everything cheaply. I do couponing to save on food that I buy from the grocery store. Like, it's just like a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And this is how you travel in your 20s, because I don't have a lot of money. You don't have a lot of money. We both don't have a lot of money. So how do we work and find ways around that? And these are some of the ways that I've found around those issues regarding financials, because everyone is pretty much broke in their 20s, let's be honest, except for the 1% that are like celebrities. I think it's very smart to travel in your 20s, travel while you're young, because A, you walk a lot of places. So having young legs helps. B, there's no time like the present. Like, I literally could have a heart attack tomorrow and not have done what I wanted to do. Doing it now is a concept, a great concept. I think it's really empowering, and you should definitely do it. Literally live your life like you're going to die tomorrow. And it really opens and broadens your mind into saying the things that you want to say, doing the things that you want to do. Taking that first step is going to be scary, no matter which route you go that I've already explained in this video. It's going to be so scary. But you got to do it scared, and you got to do it. Because if you don't do it, you're going to regret it. So you don't want to end up with regrets. Trust me, I've done it. So just take my word for it. But yeah, if you want to travel in your 20s, start somewhere. Start now. Start soon. Make a plan. But don't just keep looking at the plan. Go out and actually do the plan. I'm a little bit more spontaneous, so I don't really like to plan that much. So those are my tips. Go to budget grocery stores like Aldi or Grocery Bargain Outlet Market if you have one around you. Go to cheap places. Stop hanging out with friends that much. Or if you do something that's free. Because you can still have fun with no money. I don't know why people think that we have to go out and do bowling or, pay for these really expensive things, go-karting, darts, whatever, when you can literally go out and have fun for literally nothing. Everything is linked down in the description below, including my Patreon page. So if you want to go help support me and my journey on the road and traveling in my 20s, I would love that. That would be so helpful. And I put more tips and videos and pictures and stuff on my Patreon, so be on the lookout for that. All of my camera gear, equipment, and stuff is linked down in the description below, so you can find out if you want this style or not, I guess. And thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your support. Give it a like, because that literally costs you nothing. And it helps me out so much. So, yeah, thank you so much. Peace out. Enjoy life. Live it up.